Welcome to the kidsministry.blog podcast. Every episode, we share ideas, tips, and resources to help your children's ministry thrive.
Okay, picture this. You're at, say, an Easter egg hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly, it's just pure chaos. Kids running wild. The little ones are totally lost. The older kids are, grabbing everything. And the parents, you can just see the frustration building. Does that sound maybe a little familiar?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the scene painted by a writer over at kidsministry.blog. They talked about a past Easter egg hunt they ran, and they were brutally honest, called it a spectacular failure.
Spectacular failure. That's quite a description.
It really is. So our mission today in this deep dive is to pull out the practical wisdom from that spectacular failure, how to actually create events that are meaningful, organized, and not chaotic.
Sounds like a worthy goal. Where do we start?
Okay, let's dig in. The writer flat out admitted the first big mistake was, having no plan whatsoever.
No plan for a kid's event. Oh, dear.
Yeah, they literally said they just threw plastic eggs on grass and hoped somehow it would work out.
I can see where this is going.
Exactly. The result. You had 3-year-olds trying to compete with 8-year-olds. The writer called it a gladiator arena. Just, mayhem.
It's fascinating, isn't it? How often we underestimate the dynamics, especially when there's excitement, like candy involved. So the first big lesson, the non-negotiable one they learned.
Age separation. Makes total sense.
Absolutely crucial. You can't just throw them all in together.
No. So their new strategy sounds way better. They set up separate hunts. Like babies get a tiny contained area, eggs just sitting on the ground. Easy peasy.
Okay, safe and manageable for the littlest ones.
Right. Then preschoolers. A bigger space, but with obvious hiding spots. Still fun, but achievable.
Makes sense. A bit more challenge, but not overwhelming.
And then the big kids, they get the actually hard hunts. Make them work for it a bit.
So everyone gets a challenge suited to their level.
Exactly. Each group gets their own time and space instead of a Lord of the Flies situation. That quote really stuck with me.
Avoids the gladiator arena feel.
Good. Totally. So, okay, age groups sorted. But then there's the issue of the eggs themselves. The old way, just random throwing. It led to, and I quote, moldy eggs still getting around the church building in November.
Gross. Yeah, that's not ideal. So that random chaos clearly wasn't working. How do they get more precise?
Well, they developed what they called a hiding strategy that doesn't suck.
I like the honesty. What did that involve?
Mapping out spots like a military operation.
Seriously, they made a detailed list so volunteers could actually give helpful hints if kids got stuck.
So predictability again, knowing where things should be. That helps manage everything.
Exactly. And remember the golden egg nightmare.
Yeah, the one coveted prize that leads to meltdowns.
Right. Instead of that, they introduced multiple special eggs in different colors, each with small, reasonable prizes.
Smart. Spreads the joy around. More winners, less disappointment. It shifts it from scarcity to, abundance in a way.
Yeah, inclusive abundance. I like that. Okay, so logistics are getting better, but then there's the human element. Always the trickiest part, isn't it? Volunteers. Parents.
Yep. Last time volunteers were apparently pretty vague on roles and parents. They were literally counting eggs in other children's baskets.
Ooh. That competitive parent thing. Yeah. So it comes down to clear communication and boundaries, right? For everyone.
Precisely. The blog writers fixes specific jobs for volunteers like, Tom, you're on baby duty. Mike, you manage the parent crowd.
Clear roles, clear responsibilities. Good.
And for the parents, they lay down the law, basically. Maximum egg limits per kid. Adults stay behind designated lines. And absolutely no coaching from the sidelines.
Setting clear expectations. It prevents that completely insane parent behavior they mentioned.
Exactly. And the candy. They tackle the candy situation. Checking for allergies, super important.
Critical.
Using non-food prizes sometimes too, and sticking to safe, boring options maybe to avoid sugar overload.
Practical stuff. Okay, so logistics, people management. What else?
Well, here's where I think it gets really insightful. The writer admitted it's easy to get so caught up in the planning, the logistics, that you completely forget why we're doing this thing.
Yes. The purpose behind the activity. That's crucial. So easy to lose sight of that.
Totally. So the article really pushes making it actually about Easter, not just a generic egg hunt.
How did they suggest doing that?
Starting with a simple explanation of Jesus' resurrection. Maybe using those resurrection eggs with symbols inside.
Oh, yeah, those are great tools. Visual storytelling.
Right. And ending maybe with a simple song or a prayer, just grounding the fun in the meaning.
So it becomes more than just collecting plastic eggs. It's about creating positive memories associated with church. And maybe even an evangelism opportunity, as they put it.
Exactly. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you listening? The perfect Easter egg hunt, or really any event like this. It's not about flawless execution.
Because let's be real, with kids, flawless isn't happening.
Yeah. No kidding. It's about creating an environment where families can actually celebrate together, where every single child feels included and valued. That's the goal.
And this deep dive really shows how learning from, well, a spectacular failure can lead to real transformation. Careful planning, clear communication, focusing on the why. The article ends by saying success is when families are so happy they actually want to invite others to participate instead of dreading another church disaster.
That says it all, doesn't it?
It really does. So maybe think about it. What one or two simple changes could you make to turn a potentially chaotic event into something genuinely joyful and inclusive, something to mull over?
Thanks for listening. To find more ideas, tips, and resources, go to kidsministry.blog. We'll see you next time.